Lena was a successful businesswoman, living a lavish life in her high-rise apartment. But everything changed when she inherited an old, dilapidated house from her late grandmother. The house was located in a remote village, far away from the city. Lena had never been there before and didn't know what to expect. As soon as she arrived, strange things started happening. Objects would move on their own, strange noises would come from empty rooms, and Lena began to have terrifying nightmares. At first, she dismissed it all as her imagination, but the incidents became more and more frequent. One night, Lena woke up to find a ghostly figure standing at the foot of her bed. The figure was that of an old woman with a twisted face and a look of hatred in her eyes. Lena was paralyzed with fear and could only watch as the ghostly figure disappeared into thin air. The next day, Lena did some research on the history of the house and discovered that her grandmother had been accused of stealing from the local church. The villagers had taken justice into their own hands and burned her at the stake. Lena realized that the ghostly figure was that of her grandmother, seeking revenge for the injustice done to her. She tried to appease the ghost by offering to make a donation to the church, but it was too late. The vengeful spirit had already decided that Lena must pay for the sins of her grandmother. As the days went by, the incidents became more violent. Lena was pushed down the stairs, doors slammed shut on their own, and she was tormented by the ghostly figure every night. Lena knew that she had to leave the house, but she couldn't bring herself to abandon the legacy of her grandmother. In a final, terrifying encounter, Lena was trapped in the house by the vengeful ghost. As she screamed for help, the ghostly figure disappeared into thin air, leaving Lena alone in the cursed house. Years later, the house still stands, abandoned and haunted. The villagers refuse to go near it, and Lena's fate remains a mystery. Some say that she was consumed by the vengeful ghost, while others believe that she managed to escape, but was never the same again. Laura had just moved into her new home and was excited to start her new life. However, as the days passed, strange things began to happen. Her belongings would be moved around, doors would open and close on their own, and she would hear eerie noises in the middle of the night. At first, Laura thought it was just her imagination, but as the occurrences became more frequent and intense, she began to believe that she was being stalked by an unseen presence. Desperate for answers, Laura decided to conduct her own investigation. She installed security cameras in every room and set up audio recorders to capture any strange noises. To her horror, the footage revealed a dark figure lurking in the shadows, watching her every move. Terrified, Laura sought the help of a paranormal investigator who uncovered a chilling history of the house. It turned out that the previous owner had been a notorious serial killer who had committed numerous murders in the very same house. The investigator believed that the killer's spirit was still trapped in the house, seeking revenge on anyone who dared to live there. Laura realized that she was not alone, and that the unseen stalker was the ghost of the killer who wanted to claim her life. Fearing for her safety, Laura decided to leave the house and never look back. But the unseen stalker followed her everywhere she went, tormenting her with his presence. In the end, Laura realized that she could never escape the unseen stalker, and that she would forever be haunted by the ghost of the killer. She accepted her fate and resigned herself to a life of terror, knowing that the unseen stalker would never leave her alone.